जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी, राधा माधव कुंज विहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, जसोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, यमुना तीरा वनचारी, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे हरे, जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधे श्याम, जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधे श्याम, कृष्ण बलराम जय राधे श्याम, कृष्ण बलराम जय राधे श्याम, जय ललिता विशाखा जय राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम, ललिता विशाखा जय राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम, नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल, हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल, गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि, जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः, श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं, वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपादकमलं, श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं, सहगण रघुनाथनितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं, श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च, हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते, गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते, तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhete girim yat kripatamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhava Mishram Sri Chaitanya Devam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text 8, the perfection of renunciation. You can repeat after me. Dukkham ityeva yat karma kaya klesa bhayatyaje sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Dukkham, unhappy, iti, thus, eva, suddenly, yat, which, karma, work, kaya, for the body, klesa, trouble, bhayat, out of fear, tyajit, gives up, sa, he, kritva, after doing, rajasam, in the mode of passion, tyagam, renunciation, no, not, eva, suddenly, tyaga, of renunciation, phalam, the results, labhet, gains. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing fruitive activities. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by rising early in the morning one can advance his transcendental Krishna consciousness, one should not resist out of fear, or because such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in the mode of passion. The result of passionate work is always measurable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the result of renunciation. Can someone recite this verse? Go back. Anyone likes to recite? Dukkham ityeva yat karma kaya klesa bhayatyaje sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhe. Mataji? Dukkham ityeva yat karma teja rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhe. So the translation, let me repeat one more time. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Om Tat Sat. So in this section we can understand what is the meaning of prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are given 10 in number in the Manu Smriti. He has written the code of ethics for the human being. Just like a person joins a company And in the human resource department, they give a code of ethics that you come at 9 a.m., you leave by 5 p.m., you have a lunch hour 1 hour, and you do not explore other internet things, you need to work, etc., etc. You don't pass on the codes. So there are some do's and do nots. So that is given as a prescribed duties for an employee when he joins an organization. So similarly, we also joins this organization of human body. So when you take this human body, that means what is the prescribed duties for the human being? Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna, samanna iti, pasubhi acharati. So these four kind of thing which is people consider is the prescribed duties are ahara, eating, nidra, sleeping, bhaya or defense for your own protection, and ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna, and also sexual pleasure. So this thing, all the ordinary animals, they also perform. So that cannot be a prescribed duty for human being. So what is that for the prescribed duty for the human being? It is also mentioned in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, when Lord Rudra, he is in the mode of, the master of the mode of ignorance, and he destroys the world at the time of the dissolution. And he gets angry to the people that I have given you so much opportunities to go back to Godhead, be liberated. And because you are still once here, I am angry. So when we are not performing a prescribed duty, then he becomes angry. Prabhupada always mentions about the thing one should not give up. Just like we know the Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. Phalgu Vairagya, and he's likely, Phalgu is a river in Bihar, which appeared to be, looks like a river, but when you put on the step, it's likely quicksand. Then you fall inside. So it's a very dangerous. So similarly, as in Vrindavan you see many Markata, it's also called Markat Vairagya. The names are given like Phalgu Vairagya, Markata Vairagya, etc. And there is another called Yukta Vairagya. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj when Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, when he first rode into this beautiful Western car, then also some local saintly people criticized, oh, sadhu should not do it. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj has given the value of Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. And he has given the Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya's differences. So in that connections, he mentioned that what is the necessity of the Vairagya when people do not understand the meaning of Vairagya. And as you know, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj can give a class, very elaborate, and explain the situation. And he was mentioning about the topic of Yukta Vairagya. And Prabhupada is often quoted in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam, also in Bhagavad Gita, quoting from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is written by Rupa Goswami, about this particular topic of Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. So in these connections, Prabhupada also referred to his master, spiritual master's quote, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, that why Yukta Vairagya is necessary. Out of foolishness, people leave it. And Prabhupada gave one example, very crude example. Let me repeat it. Prabhupada said, you are walking in a street and you find $100. Let's say you are going in a guest house downstairs, on the stair you found $100. Person A put it in his pocket. I found out this is mine. Person 2, Isahasam idam sarvam. Everything belongs to God. Nothing is mine. walks away. Person 3 saw this note and it takes it, does not put in the pocket, goes to the reception counter and gives it to the receptionist. He said, maybe, Prabhu, can you check maybe who has dollar now? Everybody is rupees. Somebody maybe who has come from America or Europe, probably then find out, okay, 4 people, let me ask. Then somebody, oh yeah, I lost my $100. Then it goes to the person. So, this is the difference between Tyagi, Karmi and Bhakta. The first one who consumed this one is Karmi. The second one who does not care is Tyagi. And third one who finding out who has this money and returning back is Bhakta. This is the comparative study of a simple analysis offered by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Because who is the root of that? Every situation we wanted to exploit for our best interest. Every context, in every situation, people wants to put an upper hand and they want it to be an advantage position. And there is an ordained by the Lord which you will be going to get it. Just like here, Krishna is saying, out of body discomfort. People say, oh, why I go? Some says, sometimes people in one devotee was saying, he joined Brahmacharya ashram and he thought, he was getting a lot of pressure outside, so he joined. But he was telling, he's getting more pressure here because they are asking me to go and get money from this guy. Collect donations from the people, what is called Lajpat Nagar. And money in order for the temple. And he said, I don't like to interact, but it is a work. He said, I was doing some job, they're salesmen to sell some product, now you're selling me to go for it. So the problem is, it is not your misunderstanding of joining Krishna consciousness is not that you are, hazy-pazy, lazy and coming in ashram, sleeping and that's it, and looking and reading a book. We are doing practical service, isn't it? So you go for book distribution, either a grihastha or you are in a ashram. Grihe thako bane thako sada hari bole dako. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, either you remain in a griha or you remain in a brahman, you are chanting and preaching, Bolo Krishna, Kaho Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. This is my agya, Amar agya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you go and do this one. Now how do you deviate from the prescribed duties then? Because people misunderstand things. Some people scare you. There are, in India itself, there are people, family, oh, you're fighting, 2 brothers are fighting. Why? I know why did you fire fighting. Well, why are you fighting? I know the reason. What is the reason? Because you bought this Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Gita is coming from Mahabharata. Whenever you have Mahabharata, you're fighting. Duryodhana and Yudhishthira was fighting. And you are bringing that book and they return that book. We are fighting. But nobody has given the right informations to them. So this is likely people misjudge things. So similarly in life we misjudgment and we concluded what is renunciation. So in that context when you are building up that tempo, what is renunciation? We miscalculate and we consider something to be not renunciation, we consider that to be renunciation. Prabhupada one time giving an example, and in one particular spiritual organizations, their guys used to tell me, oh, our great gurus, they never touch money. They never touch money. They don't have bank balance. They don't deal with money. I said, Prabhupada used to collect money for himself. Prabhupada used to count everything. Where is the money gone? Even 1 cent is gone here and there in the balance sheet. He will ask questions. He's counting money. He's doing money. Every time you see in the Prabhupada Lilamrut, he would say, give $25,000 from BBD, get $50,000 for constructions for Mayapur. Everywhere there is a transaction of money Prabhupada is dealing. Now the same spiritual organization, I am not naming it for the sake of sanctity, if you ask them, their comparative of thing is that tyagi. We don't touch, we don't this, tuck. But our perspective of tyaga is engagement in Krishna's service. Otherwise you will have prapanchaitaka buddhi. So you will have those ornament of these things which is completely for market vairagya. Just like market vairagya, they are also roaming in naked, but they are having a lot of women, monkeys. They are also, you can say also, I am also naked, I am in a vairagya. But at the same time, you may do many sense gratification actions. So in order to conquer these things, so what is mentioned here and what is offered by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Krishna is also saying, so there are different levels of renunciation. And different level of renunciation means body renunciation, mental renunciation, intellectual renunciation, societal renunciation, and there are levels of renunciation which is there. I met one person in Santa Cruz in America when he used to go a very deep forest. That's called redwood forest. So when he was walking, two monks, they are coming out. It's a big forest, you will not find maybe bear and all kind of wildlife, very deep inside the forest. So we gone for something. Then we are a little bit, walking, 2 or 3 friends of us. Then we saw the 2 monks. And we are surprised, and then we just asked, interacted, how we are doing, how do you feel like here? There is no light, there is no internet, they cook in the wood, and completely renounce. They said, we want to renounce the world. So what they are doing? They are practicing complete mode of goodness. They renounce the world, they have no connection to the outside, what's going on, your TV or your internet or news, zero idea. They are completely absorbed in transcendence. But they are practicing not bhaktas, they are Buddhist, I am talking about Buddhist monk. So, my point of saying is their renunciation is in a level of mode of goodness. There are people who comes to some ashram, we have seen, they renounce family life. So that is in the mode of ignorance, means they fought with their family, there is a quarrel or something, then they quit. So this renunciation is quitting particular status. So this is not called renunciation. They are, what do you call them, charlatan, like it's like a mode of ignorance, means not in the higher state. So out of compulsion you are coming to some other positions that you will be satisfied. And there is another type is where you want to be just advertised that you are a tyagi. Oh, he's such a big guy, he is a billionaire, but he goes in bicycle. Some people, right, he have 25 cars, but he walks. It's likely showing off as a renunciate, you are likely some kind of tyag. So that's also like more, you are passionate. Internally you have desire. But the question is, what we have that we have renounced. When Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami came from Vrindavan back to Jagannath Puri, he wanted to commit suicide on the wheel of the chariot. of Ratha Yatra. He said, I wanted to commit suicide because I can't, my body is smelling bad, the Lord is embracing me, many different things. So he wants to commit suicide for different reasons. Lord is super soul. He is Antarjami. He is Paramatma. Sarva Hridesu Tishtati Arjuna. Everybody's heart, I am there. He knows what you are thinking, what is going on in your heart. Next day morning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw in Sanatan, I heard that you wanted to commit suicide. You want to give up your life, give up your body. First of all, are you not a number one fool? How do you say that this is your body and you own it? Then Sanatana Goswami was expound first of all, how did Lord know? Secondly, he's just attacking me to the point, on the spot. How do you know that you are going to destroy your body? Are you the owner of the body? If you are not the owner of the body, then what is that to do? So if I am not the owner, what is that for renunciation? But in order to come to that state of understanding, we need to perform a level of renunciation so that we know the value of renunciation. In 12th chapter, Krishna explains like, better than work is knowledge, better than knowledge is renunciation, then meditation, like that. So renunciation is on a higher state. So what happens is, by renouncing things, you feel non-entitled. And there is no anxiety comes from you. If you renounce something, what is the anxiety for? Do you have an anxiety for your families and all? Because you renounced home. So that brother, sister, cousins, doesn't matter because you are part of the Brahman. But when you are part of the societies in a Grihastha lives, you are obligated for some activities. So many of the points when Krishna explains, just like we said, as we differentiated karmi, tyagi and bhakta, with the example of the $100 bill I gave. So similarly, the tyagi part which Krishna is explaining, which has also mode of goodness, mode of patience and mode of ignorance. And what is the things? When you miscalculate or misjudge and perform some renunciation of work, which may not yield a good results for your own spiritual advancement. Means you may perform things based on the renunciation, such like a person who has come, he fought with his family and joined an ashram or somewhere else. Who knows, after 1 year he may go back. He may immediately one day give a saffron and wearing, and then maybe in 1 year he is not trained well, he was not educated well. And then how can he come to the consciousness? So those level of coming in renunciation are coming from a state of compulsion. First state of compulsion. Then second stage is coming on state of neutrality. Neutrality means you are not fully certain. Okay, you are putting your one step, maybe enjoyment life is better, another step, maybe renounced life is better. You are in a both mind. It's called perplexed. So in that state, what you do is you are still joining, means you are taking a chance. And the higher state is where you are fully convinced that my renunciation is for the society, for the benefit of the public. I belong to Krishna and it is for the people to make them Krishna consciousness. So I don't have my social life, I don't have public life, I don't have anything rather than service to humanity through Krishna consciousness. That is the one. When you come to that state, then you will have a full clarity. As we are mentioning about the life stories of the Acharyas, Sad Goswami, and the acharyas of our own line of sampradaya. You listens to many of these purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj about Yukta Vairagya. So much of clarity and precision, especially in the, what is that book? The Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj biography. What is the book name? Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav. Yes, thank you. That book has many sections where Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj has given direct instructions and exemplified about Yukta Vairagya. He is one of his main disciples. He has many sannyasi disciples, and some of the main disciples who is also grihasthas. Those who do all kind of work, managerial work, legal, managerial things which they do. So Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj also will be praising them. They are doing better service than a sannyasi. So the sannyasi will be sometimes getting envious. Oh, man, I renounced my whole life. He is engaged with his family and children, but Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj is praising that guy a lot than me. But Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj is more gearing towards engaging our mind and senses to Krishna. And he has given number of his disciples. Even just like he loved Prabhupada, he was sannyasi? No. He was a grihastha. Prabhupada was a grihastha when 1922 he met. 1933 he got initiated. So he was, by the time of his correspondence and all, Prabhupada was a grihastha. By the time Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj left this planet, he was a grihastha. What do you think Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj did not tell him to preach? Did he tell him my first and my second and my third instruction for you to become sannyas? Did he say that? What he said? If you ever get money, print books. It doesn't matter, he did not ask them to be renounced or not. So we should get the message of Krishna, and that message has been given in a constructive manner by the disciples, especially Prabhupada, who has taught us about the Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. So, and it is Anasaktasya Vishaya. And what is that? Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchyate. That particular things which coming from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where you are connected with Yukta Vairagya state. The another one, Maharaj was giving an example from Srimad Bhagavatam. There are unlimited personalities or devotees who has followed the Yukta Vairagya state, such as Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, you can name it, Pandavas. Pandavas are happy in the forest and they are happy in the palace also. They are never demanded. So there is no need for them to renounce this world. But at the same time, they are never disturbed when they are out of the palace. Is it disturbed? Except Bhim for a little bit. Pandavas are disturbed? No. Yudhishthira Maharaj is always calm and quiet. So Bhim couldn't understand why the guy is always calm and quiet. So he will be questioning, but it doesn't go beyond the instruction of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So he was also pacified by Yudhishthira Maharaj. So that is the thing which we discussed here about this particular sloka, which gives anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. So people have renounced in the mode of. So you can do a troublesome. Troublesome means I don't want to also go and earn money. Because you say that, oh, why I have to become a karmi? Then you don't do anything. Then you cannot even buy a flour for your own deities. You can buy any good grains for your deities. So you have to go and earn, isn't it? So you have to do something, that's why. And we don't need to justify our positions based on our weakness. Rather than we have to take the instructions of the higher authority in many of these situations. Just like the Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav, which Prabhupada gave this example, that one time one brahmachari, he was a brahmachari in Gaudiya Math, and he left this ashram. Or what happened, it is not known. But Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj noticed that brahmachari is not there in the ashram. 2-3 days after that, he asked one brahmachari, what happened to that ex-brahmachari? Why is not there? Then he said that Maharaj, he left. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was concerned, and he told what he used to do here, what he does. Then somebody said, Maharaj is very good in fixing watch, because he sometimes fixed my watch. Somebody said, yes, I have a problem in my wall clock. He immediately fixed. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj asked one brahmachari in Bagh Bazaar, go, and there are 3 watch shops, go and see there. The brahmachari went in the 3 and he found in number 3. He was working there. Then he pulled him. Hey, Maharaj is calling you. Then he brought him. And he said that what happened? Then he was telling that he has different motives, all these things, and then he left. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, that he has to go, he has to earn money in order to sustain. Material world means nobody likes you if you don't have money. Is it anybody likes? No. So he has to earn money in order to sustain himself. So, and he knows if he has some skills. If you are a technician, you are a computer man, you are a lawyer, you are a professor, then you will be going back to that services, right? That's what you can earn some money. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj sent it back. So here 2 reflections comes, that how he loves, and at that time Maharaj also says about the being afraid of fruitive activities and not performing your duties. And he gave beautiful examples and corrected the devotees. And then people also gave that how Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was so compassionate towards every devotees. People say, oh, I have 10,000, ek chala gaya to kya hai? No, he is very, very, very compassionate for everyone. And in their positions, wherever their positions, he'll bring them. So, he is compassionate to that level. Even he will say, give them even omelette and chai and biscuits in London, and make a hostel and come them and chant Hare Krishna. That's the thing where you come to a consciousness that my part of renunciation is not fake. My part of renunciation is I am true to myself. If you are not true to yourself, how you will come to a senses? So that's why we have to follow the advice of Lord Krishna to know what renunciation means and to know what renunciation does not mean, and then you perform the way of renunciation which is offered. Otherwise, if you don't know what is my prescribed duties, if you ask a person who is in Wall Street, in New York, you ask what is your prescribed duty, he would say earn money. If you go and ask a 49ers who is playing football, what is your prescribed duty? Run and play soccer, play game, play football. What is the prescribed duty, Virat Kohli? Prescribed duty is no batting. Chakka, choka. So these are not prescribed duties for human being. So we have to know what is our prescribed duties. Because Manusmriti says prescribed duties is you must learn to get out of the clutches of the material modes and come to the science of self-realization, who you are. And not only that, who God is and how to attain Him. And that is the prescribed duties for the human being to learn the science of self-realization. And in order to know, so there are different 8 ashrams: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas, brahmana, vaishya, kshatriya, shudra. The 8 ashrama, chaturvarna mayasrashtam, guna karma vivagasa. So Krishna has expounded in these four ways for us to, the division of the society was done in order to come to a sense of culture so that we can perform Krishna consciousness properly. And that prescribed duties has to be known. Because if you do not know the prescribed duties, then you will completely think yourself happy. Before joining Krishna consciousness, we are happy in our own material life. Nobody knows. We don't know that we are going to die. We don't know that we are going to have problem. But when you learn things, then you're conscious. And you're conscious when you're cautious that I don't want to do things. I don't want to waste my time. Or sun rises, sun sets, one day gone. Sun rises, sun sets, another day is gone. Sun rises, sun sets, third day is gone. My life is coming closer. So I do chanting. I do my Krishna consciousness, that this is the way I progress. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So we'll take some reflections and questions if anyone has about this chapter or anything if you have in mind. So I will stop here and please. Yes, Mataji.
You mentioned that sometimes we renounce as like taking a chance with the feet in both, like maybe material world, maybe that's there, but it doesn't stick until we become convinced that this is the other path. So if somebody starts in that perplexed state, how do they shift to be convinced? Is it possible?
Yeah, so one example I give, even Radhanath Maharaj used to say to that person who wants to take brahmachari or any ashram, he said, no, first you go and earn money. Go to the corporate. You exhaust yourself. Then you are certain that, then you don't repent. People come, they do not complete their undergrad or bachelor. They come and after 5 years they repent, oh my gosh, if I have completed my bachelor or master, I would have got a better job. My friends who are there, they are getting a better job. It's a repentance. That should not be the position of repentance. Because he joined, then it is not yet fully convinced. So they allowed them go and earn money. And if he is satisfied, in after a few years, if you think that is not the way, this is the one, will take you. But immature state of decision, you may end up in some problem. And in order to come to maturity, but you can example, Prabhupada at that time, he has given sannyas to very immature people. But it is, Prabhupada says, I empower you. That is the one, then compared to our own way of sadhana. So in that state, we should definitely take the advice of our spiritual master, that what type of state we should take and what not. Just if you give example, I give. Sridhar Swami, from Prabhupada writes Srimad Bhagavatam commentary, he said from Sridhar Swami. So Sridhar Swami, how he took sannyas? He was a married man. He had a wife. And his wife was pregnant, 9 months old, baby in the tummy. And Sridhar Swami is at home. One day he saw in the wall, you see in India, the, lizard. Huh? Lizard or what? It is called lizard, right? Yeah. So they are there and one lizard fell down. It's a pregnant lizard. Fell down, the mother lizard died and the baby came out. And the baby then eating, insects. Sridhar Swami saw and then he said, if God is nourishing food to the baby and it did not die, why not my baby always surviving? He left immediately and he took sannyas. But not everybody can take that decision like that. It is not encouraging for you to now that I have to take at this juncture, God will take care. But that is the state of maturity, where people have faith, and where they have faith, God also helps themselves. But if you are taking such renunciation, as I mentioned, out of compulsion and fear or obligation or too much of duties at home and feeding these things, based on that I am living, that's not the nice, because you are not going to help in that other ashram also. So you have to first be steadfast. Make sense? Thank you. Any other reflection or questions, anyone? Anything, Prabhu, from your end? Any comments you want to give? Okay. On the back, Mataji, those who are making garlands, anything you wanted to say? Say something, any questions if you have?
She's attending every class.
Yeah, I know. Ananda was telling that they do always both.
2 hours.
They are doing service and they are listening. You are getting a double mercy.
Double.
Both Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Krishna's and Radharani, 3 mercy hai. Service for Radharani's, hearing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Dham, Krishna's. Triple mercy. 3 Dev. Anyone back? I don't see anyone who is anyone. Prabhuji, anything you wanted to share? Back? Okay. So shall we sing one bhajan?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes.
I don't know if I can. Can you put a bhajan, Prabhuji? Yasamati Nandan? I don't know if I remember all. Let me see how much I remember. I don't have. Yasomati Nandana Brajabaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Sumati Nandana Brajabaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamana Vidhana Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamana Vidhana Amala Harina Amiya Vilasa Amala Harina Amiya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Vara Vansi Vadana Subhasa Vansi Vadana Subhasa Brajajana Palana Asura Kulanasana Nanda Godhana Rakhovala Brajajana Palana Asura Kulanasana Nanda Godhana Rakhovala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavana Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavana Sri Radha Shyama Sundar Vrindavana Natavana Sri Radha Shyama Sundar Vrindavana Natavana Sri Radha Govinda Vrindavana Natavana Sri Radha Govinda Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Govinda Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Govinda Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Gopinath Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Gopinath Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Damodar Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Damodar Vrindavan Natavara Sri Radha Shyama Sundar Vrindavan Natavara Radha Shyama Sundar Vrindavan Natavara Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Hari Bo, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Krishna Prabhupada ki, Krishna Balaram Bhagavan ki, Lalita Visakha Radheshyam ki, Gaur Nitai Bhagavan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Bhagavad Gita session ki, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. Hari Bol.